Hey, all my little halflings and goblins. If you're like me, when you're at home online gaming, you're going to get hungry. And we're all stuck at home with this pandemic, so why don't you go ahead and get a hold of the Grub and Grog and order some food? If you're on our Twitch stream, you can scroll down and click on the tile for the Grub and Grog, and you can check out their wonderful menu of items. They'll even deliver growlers, beer, and cider. If you're ordering a sandwich, I recommend the all hands on deck. It's what I regularly eat when I'm at the store. You can even order a board game, maybe some extra dice. Hey, you got a mini that you want to paint? Why don't you go ahead and ask them if they'll deliver one for you? Go ahead and give them a call, check out their website, and when this is all over and done with, I'll see you back at the gaming table. Hey, all my little halflings and goblins. This is DM Chris, your friendly DM from Going Gaming Gaming Store and the Grub and Grog. I just wanted to let you in on an exciting venture that we've started with Talon and Claw. Talon and Claw has been on my radar for some time. I've been wanting to get one of their beautiful wooden DM screens. So my birthday's coming on June 1st. If any of my players want to get one, I kid. But anyways, we have a deal going on with Talon and Claw, and that deal is that if you use code GOINGAMING in all capital letters on their Etsy store, you will receive 10% off of your purchase. In addition to that, Talon and Claw will kick back 10% back to Go and Gaming store. It's a win-win-win. We help get more customers for Talon and Claw. Talon and Claw helps Go and Gaming survive the pandemic, and you, that's you, get a 10% discount on your purchase. Like I said, they've been on my radar for a while. However, recently I entered a contest on Twitter, and I happened to win one of their leather dice trays, which is this right here. As you can see, it is very portable, The whole thing unrolls. It's stamped with the Talon and Claw logo, and you just snap it together and you get a perfect rolling surface. And let me tell you, the leather works great. Not all rolling surfaces are created equal. I have found that some of the cheaper ones that are made of the PU leather, the dice just skids across it. They slide on one surface. And so this is the surface once it's complete. Also, I have recently purchased from them a Council of 7 dice vault in red oak. These come in different types of wood. You get to choose when you purchase it. They have a magnetic clasp closing it, and it is a vault for holding your dice. They have larger vaults. They also make a full line of wooden dice trays that serve as a vault. They have, of course, many different models of their DM screen in multiple different woods. So definitely go ahead and check them out. You can click their link on my YouTube channel, or scroll down in your Twitch channel, and you will see a tile there to click on their store. Please check them out, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope to see you at the gaming table soon. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Rain. For a second, I was wondering if this was going to cooperate with me. The internet seems to have bogged down a bit. There we go. Rain, what class are you playing?
And my name is Rytheria Ilfilker.
Okay.
And I went to the School of Evocation.
Okay, so you're a whiz? You're cutting out.
Oh, yeah, I'm a wizard, sorry.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to grab a wizard token out of the player's handbook until I come up with something custom for you. I don't think you want a beard, though. I mean, maybe you do. And what? You're an elf?
Hi, Elf.
Hi, elf. Let's see. That works. Potentially. Okay. All right, and what's your character's name?
Rytheria, do you want me to type it in chat?
Sure. Okay. All right. So you are on the board. And while we are waiting for our peeps, I will get everybody on the turn order.
Oh yeah, it looks like I need my character to be put back on since I had to leave early.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was running a little bit behind as we went up to the store about like 4 o'clock, and I was, oh, that's plenty of time. No, no, it's not.
It's not. You always think you have enough time, and then there's never enough time.
Well, it wouldn't have been so bad if we'd had just come back, but I was also, being at it's dinner time, I was kind of hungry, and so we stopped to get muchas gracias on the way home, and then you have to wait for it to be made, and then you have to do like 12 different things all at once when you get back because it's too close to game time. But it worked out.
Yeah.
So, before we start, what I would like to do is I would like to talk to you guys a little bit about some rules modifications that I'm going to make. So the first rule is that we are going to, for critical hits, we're going to do rules as written. So when you do a critical hit, and I think we did this last week, but just as a refresher, reminder, instead of doing what we've been doing where it's all damage doubled, you will roll all damage twice. The argument being on that is that there's a possibility that the second time you roll you could get higher. So, okay, sure. That's not usually my that's not usually my experience, but sure. The other thing that and you guys can give me feedback on how you feel about this. So, what I have noticed, and I actually noticed this before when we were in the shop using miniatures on the board, but one of the things that I've noticed is that we are tending to get too much into the tactical combat. Not that that's a bad thing at all, but we all signed on to play D&D, and then this is kind of starting to resemble like a BattleTech game. And I would like to get into more cinematic combat. As an example, when you watch Lord of the Rings and they get into the fight with the cave troll. If that scene played out the way that we've been playing it, Gimli would run up to the cave troll and he would hit the cave troll, and then the cave troll would hit him, and then he would hit the cave troll, and the cave troll would hit him, and there would be no movement. They just kind of trade blows back and forth. Instead, what I would like to do is I would like to do a more cinematic version where there is ducking and dodging and weaving, and there's a bit more storytelling to the battle. So, how do I achieve that in game? I think the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the optional rule of flanking. Mostly because flanking really doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose, and I think that the rule as a whole is a blanket rule. I don't think that you should get advantage every single time simply because either you or the target is flanked. I don't think that really is honestly.
Your allies behind him, you have advantage on the attack roll.
Yeah, every single time it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because there are plenty of times where you might be surrounded and that may not be the case. So instead we're going to just go with the standard rules out of the player's handbook where an ally within 5 feet, grants advantage, etc. But flanking, I think we're just going to remove flanking. I think it's too strict, and it tends to lead to this, square by square kind of combat. What I would like to do is I would like to get more to the heart of, when D&D first came out. I would like to get back to that, to where you're using the board so that you know where your opponents are. You use the miniatures so you can show where they are. Not doing the whole third edition shtick where it's a board game where facing matters, and what side of the square matters. I want to avoid all of that, and I want to kind of move away from it, because the reality is that was simply a money grab by Wizards. I mean, no bones about it. They baked those rules into D&D third edition so they could sell minis. More power to them, but it didn't really work out for them in the end. So is everybody cool with that? And we're gonna try some of that out tonight. Is that?
Speaking as Telfar, man, I really am always looking for ways to incorporate my acrobatic skill into combat.
Exactly, and I think that this is going to lend more to that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely from my White Wolf playing days where you got bonus points for how cool you could describe your attack.
Right.
I really take that to heart, with my further tabletop gaming, in that it brought the importance of being able to describe what I want to do in battle, regardless of really what the squares say or whatever. That it brings a role-playing element to combat.
Right, and I mean, you guys have already played. We've already done a little bit of experimentation with just theater of the mind kind of bit. I think that went exceptionally well. I'm fully aware that Colby and Brady, you guys do better with, kick in the door and blow things up. I know that you guys do better with the combat aspect than you do with the role play. And, for some players, that's it. And I'm not going to take away from that by changing any of this. I just want there to be a bit more of a story element to the combat rather than a Rock'em Sock'em Robots match that looks a lot better in the commercials than it really is when you're playing the game. The other part of that is, and I apologize to you guys, that the reality is that playing in this format, and even when we were at the store in person, playing in this format, in my opinion, leads to lazy dungeon mastering, because you don't have to do a whole lot of prep as long as you have a map. Everybody's just going to walk up, kick open a door, kill the goblins inside, move out, go to the next door, kick open that door. You don't have to do a whole lot of work to be a dungeon master to do that. And so I apologize to you guys, because I fully admit that there's been times where I just said, it doesn't matter, screw it. It's just going to be a battle mat, and we'll move on from there. So my apologies for having done that at any time. I know that I've done it, so there's there's no getting out of it, and I want to try and make the game better for you guys, and for myself. So, having said all of that, everybody just got to listen to our minor rules conversation. Welcome to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are a gaming group from Troutdale, Oregon. We usually play at a store called Going Gaming and the Grub and Grog, and it is a game store / deli, all in one. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they've had to shut their doors, and so all of their D&D games and Magic the Gathering tournaments have been shut down. They've been doing their best to weather through the lockdown process. That has been an up and down process. They are doing the Grub and Grog is doing curbside pickup, and they have a delivery system within a 3-mile radius. So Troutdale, Oregon, Corbett, Fairview, and Gresham, Oregon. But that's not enough to save the store. And the store, not gonna lie, the store's in dire straits. Even with our fundraiser going on, the store is hurting. So anything that anybody can give to Going Gaming, we have. If you scroll down in your Twitch screen, There is a tile down there that you can click on for Help Save Going Gaming. I realize that everybody is in lockdown. So, if you do donate, you don't have to donate a lot. Every little bit helps, and we appreciate it ahead of time. I'd also like to bring to notice that there is a partnership between Going Gaming and Talon and Claw. And Talon and Claw makes beautiful wood DM screens, and they have the Council of Seven dice vault and leather dice trays and a whole manner of goods. And now they've got a new machine in where they can actually customize and do custom engraving on things. They're a fantastic partner to have. If you use the code GOINGAMING in all caps on their Etsy store, you can receive a 10% discount on your purchase. And in turn, Talon and Claw will go ahead and kick 10% back to Going Gaming. You get a discount, Going Gaming gets a little help getting through the pandemic, and Talon and Claw gets more customers. So everybody wins. Where we left off last week, the group, a whole bunch of things happened last week. So the group had been summoned to meet with the Raven Queen while they were in the Shadowfell, and they were summoned to the Raven Queen's castle, where she informed them of their greater purpose in the multiverse. And basically she showed them that Hallister Blackcloak somehow and at some point is going to try to gain control of the elder elemental princes of evil and use them to not only take over the prime material plane, but possibly even to assault the nine hells themselves. And the vision that she showed them shows that he very well could do that. And so, with renewed purpose, the party was sent back to the Forgotten Realms, to the Sword Coast. But they were given some additional benefits, bonuses, perks. An example is that
Telfar's immortal.
Yeah, Telfar doesn't age anymore. Things like that. So they then left their tavern of the Troll Skull Manor, and they went to the Yawning Portal and once again descended the well and continued their journey. And they've traveled down a tributary of the Sargoth River, which goes down, 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 and they are in the level now known as Willowwood. When they beached themselves, they found some tracks that led to a guardhouse that they found. And in this guardhouse, they found the corpse of a halfling. And they have determined that the halfling was killed by electrical shocks and fear. And so Norate, our dwarven cleric, cast Speak with Dead, and the halfling told them that he was killed by a will-o-wisp, and that to the north there is a grave that is guarded by this will-o-wisp, and he had been chased into the guardhouse, and he thought the guardhouse would protect him. The guardhouse did not, and the will-o-wisp got a whole lot of fun out of shocking and killing him. And then they stepped out of the guardhouse and they fought a whole lot of ettercaps and spiders. And there was quite a few fireballs that were thrown. A mess was made. But, Telfar, you need your blessings, correct? Let's see here.
That is correct. If it's a new day. As you recall, it's not per session, it's per day.
Yeah, that is true.
Unless, God damn it, you're the DM. If you want to be per session, you give me whatever.
I think it's easier to track and easier to do if it's just per session. Because, I mean, if we were to track it per day, I mean, a quarter of my time would be figuring out which blessing to give you. In some cases, although you guys are getting a lot better now at your higher level, you don't need as many long rests.
That's true.
I am going
I
to.
rarely need a long rest because you have only hit me 3 times since August.
That's true. That's true.
And as always, it's a dare.
Yes. Are you daring me to hit you?
Of course I'm daring you to hit me. That's the fun of it.
For this session, you are going to be given the charm of feather falling. So basically, this works like a ring of feather falling for the entire game. Oh wait, you don't need that because you have the cloak. Yeah.
I
Nix
also
that.
don't need it because my Chwinga will cast Featherfall on me at will anytime I leave 10 feet off the ground or whatever.
That is true. How about we'll go ahead and give you Blessing of Protection, +1 bonus to your AC and saving throws.
Blessing of Protection.
So, Rain, you are new to our game. To explain why she is getting a blessing here, she purchased a crystal necklace in the store, and this was a while back. And
it came out of the vending machine. Actually, it came with a crystal necklace, but it came out of the vending machine.
Well, anyways, in the stone is a Chwinga, which is a nature spirit that basically grants her this this blessing once per day, and it differs, but yeah. So that is there's a number of these things. They sell potions and wands and all manner of actual real life physical items in the store, and that's how she gained this. So while you guys after you guys kill off these ettercaps and spiders, you do find a web cocoon, and in that web cocoon, you meet up with Rytheria. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
So, Rytheria, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, since you will be joining the party?
Well, I have been through a few journeys, and I am just kind of out to help people. I've freed some kobolds and promoted kobold rights activist. I have been.
Does that include goblins that identify as kobolds, or just kobolds?
Goblins that identify.
Oh, okay.
Anything you want. Anything you want. Like, I will support you. If you want to be a kobold, you can be a kobold, even if you're a human, okay?
All right.
I'm all supportive.
That's great. I'm a champion of the were-rats.
Yeah, you guys are going to get along great.
Excellent.
Just don't lobby for them to increase wages.
Right.
Oh, no. No. And, yeah, I just really enjoy helping people, and I want to do whatever helps you guys out. I don't know what you guys are on a journey for, but I definitely want to be on it. I have evocation spells, lots of those, and yeah.
What alignment and race?
I am chaotic neutral and a female high elf, so sorry if I'm stuttering and stumbling over my words. It's only my third campaign that I've ever been in, so I'm still learning it.
Well, you'll do fine with us. You'll do fine with us. This is a good group for newcomers, so you'll do fine. Wow.
Awesome.
So an evocation wizard and Mittens, the tabaxi wild magic sorcerer. There's going to be a lot of fire. A lot of fire.
I'm so excited.
And a light cleric.
Yeah, and a light cleric. Yeah.
Let's burn stuff down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you cut Rytheria out of this.
Telfar does not reveal himself to the newcomer immediately. With any luck, as is tradition, it'll be a month before you realize there's a halfling in the party.
So yeah, Telfar, go ahead and give me your stealth check.
Coming up.
Since I assume you
I
are going
on a
to
quest
stealth.
to save the multiverse. That's all.
Well, I want to save anyone I can.
So, Rain, how much do you know about Undermountain? A little bit? None at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
Forgive me.
So, in the town, or in the city, I was going to say town. How quaint. In the city of Waterdeep, there is a tavern that is, I believe it is technically in the castle ward, but it's kind of right there on the border. In the castle ward, there is a tavern called the Yawning Portal. And it is called the Yawning Portal because in the tap room, there is a 40-foot diameter well that descends, what did we say? Something like 120 feet, 150 feet?
140.
Is it 140? Yeah, it's a long ways down. This well wasn't really originally a well. This was a wizard's tower. And this wizard's tower goes back, 2,000 years. I think it's right around 2,000, 2,500, somewhere along those lines. It goes way back, long before the founding of Waterdeep itself. And this tower was created by a wizard named Hallister Blackcloak. And Hallister built this tower over the entrance to an ancient dwarven, basically a dwarven empire that was underground. And this is shortly after the fall of the Illitharn Empire, I believe, which was the Empire of the Elves. And the Hallister had a number of apprentices. I believe there were 7, maybe 9. No, I think there were 7, and some more came later because Hallister would go through apprentices the way Google goes through interns. So eventually, over time, Hallister and his apprentices kind of went into the tower and disappeared, more or less. And essentially what they were doing is they went down into this dwarven citadel and just started recarving it out to create a massive mega dungeon that was essentially an area for Hallister and his apprentices to do their experiments and to be left alone. Hallister would reappear every so often, and it seemed like every time that he would reappear, he was more crazy than the last time he disappeared. To say that Hallister is batshit crazy is basically, selling him short. He is really
It's an
nutso.
understatement.
Yeah, he is nutso. So, at some point, the tower collapsed and fell into the earth. And all that was left was this 40-foot diameter hole, which was actually the inside of the tower that had fallen down. And there were 2 adventurers named Durnan and Mert, who is later known as Mert the Moneylender. They came down at a low level, and they went into Undermountain, and nobody saw them for a while. And after a couple of months, they came back out, and much to the shock of everybody, and they were loaded. They had a ton of money. And in addition to how much money they had, they also came back with some magical items. Both of them have similar items, but an example is that Durnan has a ring that I don't know what else it does, but its main purpose is that it gives him longevity, and Bert has a similar ring. And so basically these guys stopped aging. Durnan came out with a really fancy magical greatsword that is hanging on the wall behind the bar. And so another facet of this is that whatever it is that these magic items were, it's almost like the power of the One Ring. They didn't want to really be too far away from Undermountain for whatever reason. Durnan so much so that he built a tavern over the well, and it is now today the Yawning Portal. Mert basically purchased his way into nobility and owns a mansion in Waterdeep and has a money lending business. And these guys also know that Mert is a high-ranking Harper agent. Durnan charges a gold piece, and he has a crane that goes over this 40-foot diameter well, and you get on this wooden plank, and they lower you down the well for a gold piece. And everybody in the bar takes bets on how fast you're going to be killed when you go down here. This is a huge pastime. And then when you want to come back up, you come back up and you pull a string, and it rings the bell at the top, and for a gold piece, they take you back up. Throughout the dungeon complex, these guys have found a number of archways that are actually portals, and each one works a little differently, but it will teleport you basically from, like, this is level 5. You can take a portal that'll take you from level 5 to level 3, and then in level 3 you can find one that'll take you from level 3 to level 1, and then you go up. So they've figured out a shortcut way of getting back when they need to. There are some portals that when you try to go through them, you cannot. And they have discovered that one of Hallister's apprentices escaped his craziness, but not quite as escaped as she would have liked. She didn't escape physically, she escaped into the walls of Undermountain itself. And so she attempts to protect adventurers that come down by not allowing them to go through portal or archway gates that will take them to an area that is too high for them to be in. So far, she has continued to protect them. There's no guarantee that she will always do that, but she attempts to help adventurers. And so at some point, probably in your kobold social work, you somehow found your way down here. Were sat upon by large spiders and ettercaps, and were cocooned up to be made for a meal later. And these guys showed up and rescued you.
Just in time.
Just in time. So, there's nothing else left in these gatehouses. This gatehouse, so you can get onto the western side of the wall. So this is a crenellated wall with archer posts. The larger squares are archer posts. And then the 3B and 3A there are the guardhouse and barracks, respectively, that have basically fallen by the wayside and have been abandoned for quite some time. Now, Aaron, you are up over here on the wall, and you see quite a bit, actually.
I see much forest and an opposing cliff or face of rock and another crenellated wall.
So, let's see here. So over here to the west, right over here, you see that there is a 15-foot high iron portcullis that is embedded in the stone wall at the mouth of a long tunnel. And there's rough-hewn, you can see just over this crenellated part here, that there's rough-hewn stairs that work its way around, down from this guard post at the top of this 15-foot portcullis. And the portcullis is closed. And then to the north, you see that there is a forest clearing up here that, if we remember correctly, you guys weren't sure if you wanted to go that way or not, because the dead halfling under the spell told you guys that there was a will-o-wisp up there that chased him from a lonely grave.
Yes, poor Hayden.
That was his name, Hayden, yes. Yes.
Well, having defeated the spiders, we will go down and meet in section 2B. I'm sure we will want to check to make sure we haven't missed something crucial in that area, and I will share what I've seen to the west. And
Okay.
Telfar got a 20 on stealth, and I'm going to activate my cloak of flying.
Okay, so you're going to fly around overhead?
Yes.
Okay. I assume you're probably going to fly low enough that you can hear Carl. Or, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, that's the idea. I'm not really scouting or anything. I just want to be near and above and unobserved.
Okay.
So we'll check out the burnt spider bodies and the quasits or whatever those were, and we'll make sure that we haven't left a nest or something behind to threaten future travelers or us when we turn our back.
Okay. That is actually very wise. Everybody roll an investigation check. Wow, that's pretty tight.
Oh, wow.
Rocking that 7. That means you actually rolled a nat 1. That's terrible. That's not a good way to start the game. So, just so you know, Rain, I allow people to use regular dice if they want to. I have a personal disdain for digital dice. I actually roll my own dice. I trust you well enough that if you want to roll real dice, you can. That's up to you.
I like that it does the math for me. I'm going to be quite honest about that.
Yeah, that is a huge benefit. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, when I'm rolling 6d6 for sneak damage, I don't own 6d6.
That's true as well. I do have a lot of dice, though. I don't think that'd be a problem, but...
Yeah, so I'm going to let you know a little secret. So when you look at the monster manual, it'll say that the creature does, it'll say 5, and then in parentheses it'll say 1d4 plus 1, for example. 5 being excuse me, 1d6 plus 1, and 5 being the average of that roll. I usually don't bother with the average that is listed until you start getting into stupid amounts. So when I look at it and it says, oh, you stepped into this fire trap and they're going to take 15 die 10 damage, and that sounds like a lot, but that's fairly normal once you get to like level 10 or 12. That's when I start saying, okay, well, what's the average? Oh, it's 66. You took 66 points of damage because I'm just not going to roll that many dice. So... If I come at you really quick with a damage amount, that's what I did. I'm like, yeah, that's too many dice. I'm not going to add that up. Norite, what did you get for your investigation check?
I got a 2.
Oh, my. What about Thrick?
5.
Ow! Mittens?
Norote and I thriving out here.
Mittens, what'd you get?
14.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so it looks like Aaron is the only one that did anything. Aaron, roll a D100.
$92.
Damn.
So, Aaron, you find another another cocoon, or not really a cocoon, but you find a pile of junked adventuring gear under just a literal pile of webbing, and in that you find two things. And the first thing that you find is a staff of frost. Let's see here. It is very rare. Requires attunement by a druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. You have resistance to cold damage while you hold the staff. The staff has 10 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one or more of its charges to cast one of the following spells. You use your spell save DC. So, Cone of Cold takes 5 charges. Fog Cloud is 1 charge. Ice Storm is 4 charges, or Wall of Ice is 4 charges. The staff regains 1d6 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, you roll a d20. On a 1, the staff turns to water and is destroyed. The other thing that you find, let's see if I can find it here. There we go. And there's a lot of wands. Okay. You find a Wand of Binding. It is rare and requires attunement by any spellcaster. The wand has 7 charges for the following properties. It regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20. On a 1, the wand crumbles to ash and is destroyed. While holding the wand, you can use an action to expend some of its charges to cast one of the following spells at DC 17. Hold Monster for 5 charges, or Hold Person for 2 charges. You may also use it for an assisted escape. While holding the wand, you can use your action to expend 1 charge and gain advantage on a saving throw you make to avoid being paralyzed or restrained. Or you can expend 1 charge and gain advantage on any check you make to escape a grapple. In the pouch, you find 2 platinum pieces, 4 gold pieces, and 1 silver piece.
I don't remember what the second wand was called, but I think I need it because I need to be away in combat. I need to be as ranged as possible.
And you
So
should probably
I can
have
get out of
the ice staff.
Yeah. That's what I was meaning to say.
And the wand, probably.
Yeah, the Wand of Binding, both those items would be good for Rain, who doesn't have anything other than her starting gear, so it's entirely up to you guys how you want to handle this.
She should get the money too. She's probably poor.
Yeah, no, get the loot. Start off. It's cool.
Nice.
And seeing you joined at the perfect time, like they had just literally killed off the last guy when we broke last week, so.
All works for me. I'm using press to talk. That's why sometimes I just stay real quiet for a long time because I'm also typing in all this stuff that Chris is saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll put this in for Rain, aka, gosh, I got to look at the
Rytheria.
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 So what am I adding anything to my equipment?
So it sounds like
I am, right?
So let's start with money. There were 2 platinum pieces, 4 gold pieces, and 1 silver piece.
All right, cool. Got that.
And then to your equipment, the first thing that you'll want to add would be the Staff of Frost. Let's see here. So
What's
with your D&D Beyond, do you have access to the DMG?
Yes, I think Jeff bought that for me because I didn't have access to it before.
So the best way to do that, if I were you, I would search for Staff of Frost in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and it should pull up all the stats for that staff and just add that to your character.
Oh, I found it already. It's in my, yeah.
Perfect.
I got it.
So yeah, Staff of Frost and then Wand of Binding. And both of those can be found in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Got him.
You also have them listed in Roll20 under the circle with the eye.
Are they in there?
I see Staff of Frost. I didn't scroll down since
Yeah.
she had it. Wand of Binding.
Yeah, Wand of Binding's in here. Which is interesting because I don't have the Dungeon Master's Guide for Roll20. Huh. Well, I won't tell them if you won't. Yeah, that's cool.
How many XP is my silence worth?
You get inspiration for keeping your mouth shut. So, where do you guys want to go from here?
We want to go where the loot is.
Give me more money. Just kidding.
There's a fortress and a portcullis, right? Yeah, I see a fortress. Let's storm it.
Yeah, you know that there's a grave to the north. At least that's what the spirit or the body told you. And then there's a portcullis, which can only be described as something that would be used by a fortress. So yeah, and that's to the west.
Now, the grave to the north, can you remind me what I remember him warning us about a will-o'-the-wisp, but what is the grave to the north?
So he said that he found a lonely grave out in the middle of this forest clearing to the north, and that there was when he was inspecting the gravestone, a wisp appeared and basically chased him off. And he said that the only thing that he remembered, or as far as he got, was that the name on the stone was Cresson.
Croissant?
Croissant. Oui, is a Frenchman married to the north.
Can we eat it?
Well... So in my backyard...
Do you have any indication whatsoever as to who this portcullis belongs to?
No clue. It is
clue.
It is literally set into the mountainside though, and these guard towers to the west are carved out of the cliffside itself. So it's a lot like and I don't remember the name of the place. It was in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where
Telfar is very much interested in knocking politely, since we don't know whose portcullis it is.
Okay.
I like knocking politely.
So is that what the group decision is? You're all going to go to the west, or do you want to? Why don't you guys talk about it a little bit more? I will be right back.
Are you guys in it for the loot?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Aaron's character is in it for the money.
Adventurers. We're heroes.
Yeah, heroes.
Quote heroes.
Heroes of the loot.
Aaron is in for the money.
A thing can be two things.
Well, we need loot to be able to help other people, right?
True.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's our job to crush evil when we find it. We just need to know if this is an evil portcullis for crushing or a friendly portcullis for, hey, how you doing? Want to make an alliance? Well, Telfar can sneaky fly and do reconnaissance if need be. I wonder how big the holes in the portcullis are.
Good. Oh, someone keeps disconnecting and reconnecting.
That would be me. My Discord drops out on me sometimes and I gotta refresh.
Discord has been really bad lately.
What's up?
At least for me, anyway.
Oh, Norte dropped. Oh.
I'll knock on his window.
There he is. So, what did you guys decide?
We were all in agreement to go knock on the door of the portcullis.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Destroy things.
No worries.
Just the computer was being super weird. I had to fix it.
No problem. So I did see that there was an update to Discord, and now they fully support not only webcams, but they also support desktop sharing. And I'm going to be real honest. I look at that and I'm like, so what do I need Roll20 for? But in fact, I think there's also a D&D Beyond extension that'll work with Discord. So I don't know. That's something I might look into in the future. Roll20 does solve some problems, though. So, who's going to knock on the door?
I am.
Norte's going to knock?
Talking about sneaking around through the holes or something.
Okay, so, yeah. Telfar, you can see... Oh, hold on just a second. This is really annoying me, and let me see if I can fix it. Grid enabled. Why? Let's not worry about that. Oh my god, look how much better that is. It doesn't snap. Ah, that's great.
Well, that's really
And there
nice.
was much rejoicing.
Yes, that is so much better. So, Telfar, you're flying overhead with your 20 stealth. And, oh wait, Telfar's not here. Hold on. Time out. So, Rain, what you might do, and this actually can help our viewers on the stream. I don't even know if we have any right now, but if you click on the little gearbox icon in the upper right corner of Roll20,
yep,
you could change your display name to your character name, and that
I did.
that
Yeah,
can
I did
that can help. Huh? I'm not seeing it. That's
Oh, I just changed it. Oh, I guess I left the game.
whoops.
I'm back.
Don't feel bad. I do that all the time. Oh, we do. We have 2 viewers. Hello, viewers. So we're waiting on Telfar. Slight timeout.
What about
So you're flying over the top of these battlements above the portcullis to the west, and you can see that there is a stairwell, and this portcullis actually covers the entrance to a tunnel, and you can see this stairwell that leads down from the northern tower down into this tunnel.
I will report that to my friends.
Okay.
Aaron will investigate to see if he can determine how the portcullis is raised or lowered, assuming that it is closed.
It is closed. So this is a 15-foot iron portcullis embedded in the stone wall at the mouth of a long tunnel. Rough-hewn stairs just inside the tunnel climb up to the top of the wall, which is enclosed by stone battlements. You see no guards that are stationed atop the wall, or anybody beyond the portcullis. The winch to raise the portcullis is inside the tunnel, and Telfar, you can see that just inside at the bottom of the stairs.
Could I open it?
You could, if you wanted to fly down and go down those stairs, you could certainly attempt to do that.
Yeah. Am I small enough to fit through the gaps in the portcullis or no?
No. But you could drop down to this battlement here and go down the stairs and raise it that way. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be huge.
I have a -1 to my strength checks, so 8.
So
You just have to turn the doorknob.
So she starts, or Telfar starts pulling on this winch and turning the wheel, and the portcullis slowly starts to raise, and you can hear this clank, 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 clank as it's slowly raising up. Done here.
Oh no.
Liam's like, oh, he's looking in the monster manual. Look out. Okay, that's strange. Oh. Derp. There we go, that's better. Helps when I select the right tool.
Oh jeez, what is it this time? Are they fiends?
Now.
Oh jeez, oh no.
Ooh. Telfar, what is your passive perception?
That's 14.
Okay. So Telfar is opening up this portcullis. You hear clank, 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 clank. Norite, what is your passive perception?
15.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be at 25.
Oh, Aaron's a 25.
Yeah, but because Norite was at the front planning to knock on the door, they're just out of angle for you to see them.
Now, let me see. Who was it that was talking about theater of the mind a little bit? Never mind.
So there is 2 cloakers, and they got a 25 on their stealth. However, the lead cloaker is snaking up behind Telfar, and it goes to snap out. And when its tail snaps out to strike Telfar, it gets caught in the chain, and then Telfar continues to turn, and so this cloaker is now stuck in the chain and takes 2 points of damage, bludgeoning damage, to its tail as it is trapped in this chain.
Ooh,
And
when you roll one.
it lets out a screech and thus blows its stealth. Everybody roll initiative.
Telfar needs to move.
And the reason why it was able to attack Telfar is because the noise of opening the portcullis kind of gave away your position. Thrick, what'd you get?
18.
Oh, did I forget to add Thrick again? Jeez. God, I suck as a DM.
I'm on the board, but
Yeah, but I didn't add you to this. So, Telfar, what'd you get?
I got a 13 for initiative.
A 13?
Correct.
Okay. And Norte, what'd you get?
Soft 20.
And Mittens.
11.
And Aaron.
13.
And Rytheria. Oh, you got an 8. Never mind. I see you. Between Aaron and Telfar, which one of you... Actually, I guess Telfar would go first, because Telfar is technically right there and face-to-face.
Telfar should fly high in the sky.
So, Norite, the portcullis is only about halfway up your shin in height. It's not even all the way up enough for you to crawl under, being a bulky, chubby little dwarf. So, what do you want to do? You could attempt to grab the portcullis and lift it yourself manually if you wanted to. It would be a DC 25 strength athletics check if you wanted to try that.
But am I right next to a screecher that's stuck in the chain?
You are, and we'll get to that, because you get to go... well, the Cloaker's going to get the opportunity to try and free itself, but we'll get there.
I am going to cast Sacred Flame, which just brings a... Wait, no. Flame Strike on...
On this Cloaker?
The Cloaker that got stuck.
Okay.
Because it's not a range attack.
Okay, so I would imagine he gets a saving throw, correct?
Hang on. Yeah, I believe so.
How about I look at Flame Strike?
Okay. Yes. You make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. And the Cloaker gets the Cloaker gets a 13, so I'm sure that fails.
That fails. So it takes points of radiant damage and 18 points of fire damage.
So, sorry, what was the first number?
16 points of radiant damage.
Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, and then how much?
And then 18 points of fire damage.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a hell of a spell. Now, just a minute.
I can't cast it until we
Fired everything.
burn everything. I can
Oh,
cast
no.
fireball and kill everything.
So,
Same.
Telfar, make a dexterity saving throw.
That would be 14.
Okay, so Norite, what is your spell save DC?
It is 16.
Oh no. So Telfar is going to take half damage. So Telfar, you take 8 points of radiant damage. Or yes, 8 points of radiant damage and 9 points of fire damage.
I don't think she does because.
It's a 10-foot radius.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So 8 points of radiant damage. Anything else?
And 9 points of fire.
For the record, Chris, this does not count as you hitting me.
No, it's collateral damage. Friendly fire.
Does
Thanks,
that
Leo.
take into account his evasion?
Well, yes, but which is why she's only taking half damage. Because if she had made the save, she'd have taken none.
My retainer is actually going to cast Witch Bolt on the.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
20. That's nice.
Ooh, roll damage twice.
$20 lightning damage.
Ouch. Jeebus. Okay. Thrick, what would you like to do?
So it is tall enough for like a human-sized person to go across, right?
So, no. Nobody can get in because to a human, the bottom bar of the portcullis has only been raised about halfway up a human's shins. And underneath that bottom bar are a bunch of sharp, pointy teeth that go down into holes in the ground. So nobody could even slide under it yet, unless somebody were to grab it and try to lift it up and throw it over their head or whatever to open the door. And that's a DC 25 strength athletics check.
And so the only one we can see is the one stuck in the door or wherever it is.
Yeah, you can see this one because its tail is actually stuck in the winch to open the portcullis.
I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'll try and lift it.
Okay, go ahead and make your
And then
strength athletics.
could I have my skeletons help me?
Sure. They're skeletons, so I don't know how much they can
Only
really
if they
lift.
do a dance first.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not sure how much skeletons are going to lift, but sure, they can give you the help action, so you can make that. You can make your check with advantage.
Okay.
Add an extra 4 to whatever you roll.
Uh, 23. Oh wait, what? I need to do advantage.
Yes.
Yep, 23.
Okay, so you're working on it. You and your skeletons are actually starting to break out in a sweat, if you can believe that. The cloaker
But
is going to try to.
how?
Right. Those bones are sweaty. What's going on here? So the cloaker is able to free itself, and it then moves back here because it's like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And he is hurting, so he's running away. This cloaker is going to come out and attempt to attack Telfar and not be a complete goob like the first one. So he is going to make his tail attack and miss with a 12, I'm sure. Telfar, does 12 hit you? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then it's going to try to bite you. Oh, come on. And it's also going to miss with a 13.
I'm slippery.
Evidently.
Slippery bastard.
So, Telfar, you're sitting there and this tail goes snapping past you, and then it tries to bite you, and you're keeping it at bay. What would you like to do?
Oh, I want to stab it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Stab.
That is a 22 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
For 10 damage.
Ow. Yeah, you bring up your blade and it lets out a screech. These things look like flying manta rays with barbed tails. Did you want to do anything else?
Yeah. I'm gonna re-hide. I'm gonna let go of that portcullis chain and be all like, no, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead and
That's
make your
a 30 to hide, my friend.
Yeah, you are hidden. Did you want to move?
Not very far.
Well, you could go up the stairs. And it's not going to it won't get an attack of opportunity on you
I would
because
at
you
least
basically
get out of the way so we can cast spells without hitting you.
Yeah, I will,
Yeah.
I will rise up.
Okay, so you go up the stairs.
I'm
Man,
not walking. I'm flying.
This is so much better without the snap to grid. Man, I wish I'd have done this months ago. All right. Aaron, what would you like to do?
I'll pull out my longbow and aim right between the heads of two skeletons and the bars of the portcullis.
Okay.
Fire an arrow at that stinking little monster that's threatening Telfar.
Okay, I'm going to say that because you're firing through the portcullis, it's not really, it's more of like a grid of squares. I'm going to say that you are at disadvantage. No, I think disadvantage is too much. We're going to say that you're at -5 to hit.
So those are about the same statistically.
We'll say -3.
That's fine.
-3 to hit.
Whatever. We'll see.
Or actually, no, we'll just do it this way. We're going to say that it has half cover, so it's got +2 to its AC. That's better.
Okay. Looks like I missed anyway.
You
With a
did.
14.
You have another attack?
That's true. I will use one of my Surters. I'll call upon the power of Surtur and fire a second shot.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that drills it. For 8 piercing. This is a fairly unhappy cloaker. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
Well, it's backwards in order, but no. The power of Surtur uses my bonus action to do that attack, so I am done.
Okay. Mittens, what would you like to do?
Not much.
You don't want to throw a fireball, or? Because remember,
Thought we were
Telfar
blowing
flew
stuff
up. Telfar flew up to the battlement up here.
Oh.
Cannot be hit, yes.
So I mean, technically, you could drop that thing. You know, I mean, well, I mean, if we draw a straight line from, let's say that you were standing like right here, and you draw a straight line, you could drop that thing like right here.
I like basing it off of my center. It's like,
Yeah, okay, and that would give a little bit of cover.
Sure.
Nice. Okay, so we got 2 cloakers that need to make dex checks. No, that's not good. They get 11. So go ahead and roll 8d6 for your damage.
$34.
Oh boy. So yeah, that smarts. So he throws this fireball, and there is this big explosion. And the injured cloaker that initially had gotten stuck and then ran away is vaporized in the attack. Telfar, you fly up the stairs to the battlement just as this explosion goes off, and fire comes up and consumes the stairs and comes out the small cavern entrance at the top of the portcullis. Is there anything else that you wanted to do, Mittens?
No, that's it.
Okay. Rytheria, what would you like to do?
So I would like to cast Chill Touch, and I'm kind of behind everyone, so this ghostly hand slithers like a snake in between every single person as it goes, and it touches this person, but it touches the cloaked figure. It doesn't touch anyone else with it, so I'll cast it.
Okay, so
The Cloaker is a type of monster that likes to. I'm pretty sure in advanced Dungeons and Dragons it just hung and disguised itself as like just a dirty old cloak.
yeah, it can
And then
do
when
that.
someone picked it up, it would just eat.
Yeah, it can do that. Let me. Let's see here.
But when it's not hiding like that, it basically looks like a giant manta ray. But
So
that's
yeah,
a big
you
cloak.
create a skeletal hand in the space of the creature within range. So yeah, go ahead and make a ranged spell attack. So it's basically d20 plus your spell attack mod. And you got a 17, and yes, that hits. For 12. So yeah, you guys see this glowing blue skeletal hand just come out and kind of grab this cloaker, and when it grabs it, you can see the skin on the cloaker grow tight, and the veins in it kind of pop out a little bit. And it looks like it lost about 20 pounds. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Rytheria?
No, I just helped him lose some weight. I am a good, happy with that.
It now
Weight
looks a
loss
lot like
program.
Larry King.
Oh boy.
Norite, what would you like to do?
I am going to cast Fireball.
All right. Where are you going to cast Fireball?
I'm gonna cast it like so that the cloaker does get hit by the fireball, but it doesn't hurt so far.
So you could do it
So
like right there.
probably right here. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right.
And damage.
So he gets a 16 on his dex save.
That fails.
Okay. So 8d6 damage.
96. I'm D6. I'm casting it as a fourth level.
Fourth level spell. Okay.
So he takes 28 damage.
Yeah, so another explosion goes off, and again, Telvar, you can see fire licking out of the stairwell, and this other cloaker is just turned to ash and just falls like snowflakes in the air.
Yay, fire. I do not regret not taking the war domain.
Yeah, the light domain.
I make a snowball out of his ashes and throw it at Telfar.
Yeah, that's gonna be a dirty snowball. So the portcullis is still closed. However, out front, Thrick and his skeletons can help Telfar, giving Telfar advantage on raising the portcullis if they so wish.
I'm going to try to raise the portcullis as well.
Okay, so you can either lift it manually, or Telfar can attempt to continue to make use the winch inside. Now, Telfar, using the winch inside, it's only a DC 10 to raise it, because that's kind of the purpose of the winch. But these guys out front, they're at DC 25 to try and lift.
Yeah, if there's no more danger, I'll keep trying to lift portcullis.
Okay, and because they're lifting up, that's releasing tension, so you can go ahead and make that strength athletics check with advantage.
Ooh, a 9 and an 8. So, 8.
Wow. So she raises it up just a little bit more, but it's still not enough. Thrick.
Strength is not my strong suit.
Thrick, go ahead and make your strength check with advantage. Or, I'm sorry, Norite, make your strength check with advantage.
Okay. I rolled a nat 20, but modifiers make it 4.
So I'm going to say that with a nat 20, you're able to raise this portcullis, and you guys are able to raise it up enough and lock it in place to where you guys can walk through. It's not all the way up, but it's a good 4 or 5 feet up.
Okay.
And moving in, there is this tunnel that goes deeper and kind of curves around and goes to the. It kind of curves around, going to the northwest. There are these 2 side areas where these cloakers were hidden. I don't think there's anything in them now, but let me see. Yes. It specifically says, the caves are bereft of furnishings and treasure. So, no, there's nothing in there.
I know there was a lot of treasure in there. Scrolls of great value. And all those stinking fireballs burned them all.
Yes, destroyed all the scrolls.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We destroy everything. We cannot destroy everything with fireballs if we're in it for the loot, guys.
Okay, I'll just use 5th level inflict wounds over and over and over and over.
Yeah, that inflict wounds is pretty devastating too. We were talking at the store. I was talking with some of the other DMs, and I don't know how many of you guys have played 3rd edition or Pathfinder, but I brought up, I was like, Does anybody remember first level of Burning Hands doing as much damage as it does in 5e? Because it is brutal in 5th edition. It's like, this is a first level spell. Oh yeah, here's 3d6, and you have to make a dexterity saving throw. It's like, oh my god! Somebody's going to eat a whole crap ton of damage.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, wow. And
It's
then
Fireball for first level characters.
Right. Well, and then I guess, like, when I was playing DDO the other day, and then I used Burning Hands. So I guess it's not nearly as much, because I guess, like, at higher levels in 3rd edition, you could take, like, evocation specialty, which I did. And so my Burning Hands is doing something like 98 points of damage. It might as well just be packing around a flamethrower, you know, just annihilating everything. So to the northwest, you come to another portcullis, but this one is open. And this one, there is at the top, there's another set of, there's a guard post and a little crenellated guard area up here that goes between, and there's a little stairwell that goes to the top. And out of this open portcullis, you see a large cavern. Everybody make a perception check. Jesus, Aaron. So you are stealth, is that correct, Aaron?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a 17 for your stealth. And Telfar, are you going to stealth again?
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Perception check was 9.
go ahead and make your stealth check. The reason why your last stealth ended is because you tried to use the winch,
Right,
which is noisy.
22 for the knuckle.
Okay.
I'm convinced that Telfar is always in stealth and needs the money for chiropractic visits whenever we go to the surface.
Yes. Yes. And so, Telfar, where did you want to be? I moved you up behind Aaron, but there's another stairwell that goes up to the top of this 15-foot portcullis to the northwest.
Right. Is everybody else still trapped outside the first portcullis?
The portcullis is open. In fact, everybody move your tokens where you want them, and make your perception checks, and I'll be right back.
Alright, so what? We got 2 options to go down on either side of these portculli.
Is that really what it is?
I have no idea.
I think it's a portcullopolis from the Greek.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to go first. Sorry.
I'm gonna stick next to the party here. Just try to be floaty and sneaky.
Someone beefy go. Do we have anyone beefy?
Yeah, you have like 2 people.
Norte and Thrick are pretty good tanks. I mean Thrick dual wields shields. Come on.
It's been a while since I've been hit.
Well, today we test our faith.
I mean, considering in order to hit me, they have to either have a roll a 19 with a +8 or a nat 20.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, It's kind of broken with the enemies we're fighting.
So are we moving like down here?
Yeah, I don't know. Are we going to go down, or are we going to see what's on the other side of the portcullis? Because it seems to me like the other portcullis is just guarding the other entrance, and once we're in, we're kind of already in.
Yeah, I think we
Looks
should
like there's
go
just 2
down.
gates.
That's
Basically.
that's my impression. And once we're already through one gate, looks like both holes go down. You know?
Yeah.
I say we go down. We can always come back if you're wrong, or if we're wrong.
Wow, if you're wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
The
it's a
blame
we
on-
now.
Yeah,
It's we now, girl.
all of us. We're all taking this path together. All right.
Okay. So are you all moved to where you want to be?
No, we're trying to push our tanks forward. And
Oh, I
we're
see.
deciding if we want down the stairs or not.
Oh. So yeah,
Let's
these
send one
these
tank
stairs
down
here
each
go
set of
up
stairs.
15 feet over this cavern here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check what's going up over there.
Okay, so you're going to go to the top of the stairs? Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So I know Aaron got a 25, so he gets it. Thrick, what did you get for your perception check?
23.
Okay,
I
you
got
got it.
19.
You got it. What did Telfar get? Do we know?
I got a 22.
Okay. Mittens, what'd you get?
12.
And Rytheria, what'd you get?
10.
So everybody except for Mittens and Rytheria, you can hear this like deep moaning coming out of this cavern beyond
Zombies?
this.
Will-o-wisps?
No, it doesn't sound like zombies or wisps. It's just like a.
Is it an orgy?
It's not, well, if that's an orgy, then it's not one that you want to be at. But it sounds like just a.
Anatia?
A what?
Anatia?
No.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
An audiog? No.
Anatia, okay.
I say we should fight the sounds. Go fight the sounds. Just fight the noises.
Attack the darkness.
Is it a board, Hallister?
Yeah, just cast Fireball in the darkness.
That'll work very well.
For everything.
I'm just gonna cast light.
So Aaron, okay, so you're going to cast light as well. What are you casting light on?
Like are there like a stalagmite or a stalactite that's just hanging around?
Okay, so you cast light on a stalactite, and just as you do that, Aaron, you look up and you see the largest cloaker that you've ever seen. And
Oh boy.
Oh,
that
geez.
is where this moaning is coming from. And of course, once the light goes
Oh
off...
my god, I hate ghasts.
Well, it's not a ghast. It's a cloaker.
I know.
It's
I
just
know.
really big.
I had to make a
This is you.
Minecraft joke. I'm sorry.
And as soon as the light goes off, or goes on, it immediately notices you and is moving to attack. Everybody roll initiative.
Yay, more killing cloakers. So that is
My initiative likes me this time.
Yeah, it does. Thrick, what'd you get?
9.
Wow. That's
Lucky.
unusual for you. Telfar.
15. 15.
Okay. Norite.
19.
Mittens.
6.
Mittens got a rock. Aaron.
Aaron got a 19, and let's check to see with Norite. If it's odd, I'm going to roll a die. If it's odd, Norite goes first.
Okay.
But I need to cast my spell.
And it is.
Okay.
So odd. So Norite goes, and then Aaron goes.
Okay. So, and the Cloaker, being exceptionally overweight and very large, gets a 4.
Yeah, he's got some sort of a glandular problem. That's why he's snoring.
And he's wheezing. I'm gonna get you. Norte, what would you like to do?
I'm going to cast,
Actually, this Cloaker boss kind of looks like one of the Squidbillies. Come back here, you son of a bitch!
you know what? Actually, Aaron can go first because I need to study my spells.
Okay. Aaron, what would you like to do?
Well, first thing Aaron will do is
Now
use his bonus.
you are hidden. You have advantage on your attack, and you get sneak attack.
Well, I will ensure that I continue to get that by examining him for the bonus round, and I use my investigator skill.
Ooh, he got a nat 20.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's look at my insight. So his deception was a nat 20.
Yeah,
Does he
the
beat
total
a
is
23?
It's a total of 22.
Oh, I got a 23.
So you get it.
He was extremely deceptive, but my perception was just too tough for him.
I'm actually a little concerned that a creature like the Cloaker has a +2 to its charisma. That's a little weird.
Well, I guess it's a nice shiny cloak.
Yeah, apparently.
So I rolled a soft 20 to hit.
Yes.
With the longbow, I got 12, and then because I'm getting my sneak bonus, another 8. So a total of 20 points of damage to him.
All right.
And I'll
you want to
let
do?
it sit there.
So you use your bonus action for your investigation.
Right.
So you are no longer hidden. Did you want to move at all?
No, I'm fine. I'm right behind this. I have partial cover because of the grid.
Yeah, you have a +2 to your AC.
Yeah,
well, actually, no. This portcullis is open.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will get partial cover around the corner there.
Okay, that'll give you +2. Norte, what would you like to do from on high?
I am going to cast Wall of Fire like that around him.
So Wall of Fire is actually a line. Let me.
No, I can make a circle, I believe.
Let me see.
A ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter. So I want to make it, 20 feet.
So let's see. 20 feet.
Around it.
60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 10 foot thick, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter. Okay. So, well, hold on. That's almost right.
We can always make it smaller, so he just sort of squeezes it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to make it small enough so that he can't move without taking damage.
Well, that's 19.1 feet. So it's actually a little bigger than that. That's about right. Okay. So it is. So there's this 20-foot tall ring of fire around him.
But I wanted to make it small enough so that he can't move without burning.
Right, but Wall of Fire doesn't do that. So Wall of Fire, you can either make a wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall, up to 20 feet in diameter. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So do you want to make it 15 feet? Because he's technically, I see what you're saying. He's technically large. So he
I'm feeling a Johnny Cash song.
He cannot move unless he goes through that ring. However,
Don't encourage.
that would be assuming that he were moving on the ground. So when you guys all notice two things. So when Norite lit the stalagmite with the light spell, this whole cavern lit up 10 times brighter than it should have. Because a light spell only gives off light similar to a torch, but this whole area is now bright light. Like there were the ceilings like nothing but chandeliers. And in a sense, it is. When you look up, the walls of the 60-foot high cavern are covered with naturally formed crystal draperies that resemble frozen waterfalls. So this light is all bouncing off of these crystals, and the whole area is lit up. But the ceiling is 60 feet high. So Norite, is there anything else you want to do?
My retainer is going to cast Witch Bolt.
All right, go for it.
So that is 19 to hit.
That hits. Man, I'm gonna have to do something about that retainer.
Kids are always losing retainers.
Yeah.
Ryan has not died once.
Oh no, there's a lich. That's terrible. Finger of death.
Okay.
It pops up
It
from behind a rock.
takes 11 damage.
Okay. I remember the first time I used Power Word Kill on somebody, and I was like, "Oh shit! There's no save. It's like, do you have 80 hit points or less? You're dead. Like, not like 0 hit points. You're dead. No death saves. Nothing. You're done." It's like, whoops! Just killed a paladin. Well, that's how it rolls. Did you want to do any movement or anything?
No, I'm pretty comfortable in my spell shooting perch.
Okay. Yeah, that is actually
unless the wizard wants to come and take that place, because I can't.
Well, there's another one. I mean, there's one over here too.
Oh, okay, that works too.
Okay. Rytheria, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Melf's Acid Arrow, but here's my hit. See if it hits for. Probably not.
No.
I'll
But
help you.
so when you cast Melf's Acid Arrow, are you casting from where you're currently located, or are you moving up to the front of the line? The reason I ask is because if you were to cast from where you were at, you would be at disadvantage.
No, I'm moving to the
not
to the front, but behind. Who is this person?
That would be Aaron.
This person, yeah.
Yeah.
And notice too that that's her roll on a D20 was a 10, so she gets to add her proficiency plus her intelligence bonus.
That's true. So yeah, what's your spell attack modifier? Because if it's
6.
Yeah, so you got a 16. So, oh yeah, you can totally do that. So yeah, roll your damage for Melfs. 17 acid. Yikes. Okay. Okay, and then my question is, I'm not going to joke. I mean, Melf's Acid Arrow is an old school spell, and you're the first person I've had that actually is using it.
Jeff helped me choose my spells, so you can blame him.
Well, that's why. Melf's is a great spell. So, let's see here. On a hit, target takes 44 acid damage immediately and 2d4 acid damage at the end of its next turn. Yeah. Fucking Jeff. So, okay, so he's going to take another 2d4 at the end of his next turn, which isn't quite as long as we would normally hope, but that's still another 2d4 damage. And then you move, and you now have, you actually have, if you move behind where Aaron's at, because I'm assuming that Aaron is tucked against the stairwell and kind of poking his head around, so that gives him a +2 to his AC. But if you move behind Aaron, you would have total cover. In other words, they can't hit you at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was meaning to do.
Okay. That makes sense. Telfar, what would you like to do?
Don't grapple it.
Teflon? Are you there?
Right, I'd like for my Discord buttons to work.
Right. So you are still stealth, and it does not see you with its passive perception of 11. So you have you have advantage on your attack, and you get your sneak attack.
Cool. So I'm gonna go with a 21 to hit.
Yes.
For 26 damage.
Ouch.
Did you hear me? We good?
26 damage, and is that all of it?
That's all the damage.
Okay, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'll rehide.
Okay.
For 28.
Okay. You are hidden. So I was just looking at this. Unbeknownst to Norite, and this was completely on accident on his part, casting the light spell where he cast it and causing the light to shine through the crystals into this entire area actually robbed the Cloaker of one of its special abilities. So a Cloaker has an ability to create phantasms of itself. It can create 3 illusory duplicates, but it cannot do it if it is in bright light.
Yay!
Right.
Way to go, Norite.
Thrick, what would you like to do? And I can get rid of these ashed cloakers.
Let's see. Could I like move up here, or would that be too far? Like up there?
I think you probably could. Let's see, you're like right. Yeah, that's only like 19 feet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move over there, and then since I don't feel like killing my skeletons by having to run into the fire, I'm gonna have the one with the crossbow just try and shoot the enemy.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
17 to hit.
It hits.
For 7 damage.
Go gadget skeletons.
Exactly.
For how much?
7.
Okay.
7. Let's see. I'm just gonna cast Word of Radiance on it.
Word of Radiance. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted.
Been so long since I've used something since Toll the Dead for a cantrip.
Is that a Xanathar spell?
I think so.
Do you mean Sacred Flame?
No, Word of
No,
Radiance.
Word of Radiance.
Yeah, it's a Xanthar spell.
I can always tell when it's a Xanthar spell because it doesn't come up in my compendium.
Constitution saving throw.
Hold on, let me take a look. Not that I would ever say no, but
This only has a 5-foot range, is what it looks like.
Yeah, it says a range of 5 feet. Burning radiance erupts from you. Oh, so you're the point of burning. That's why.
Oh, so yeah, never mind then. I didn't realize it was only 5 feet.
Yeah. Basically, it lights you up with a burning glow in each creature in 5 feet of you. So basically, every square that touches yours takes damage.
It's good when you're getting swarmed.
Yeah. It's also one of those cantrips that doesn't do a lot of damage either. So yeah, instead of that, I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
60 feet. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna cast it right next to the thing. And the weapon shape it's gonna be a shield.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to make an attack on it.
I give him a bolt shield icon to show that there's a spiritual weapon right next to him beating on him.
Literally just smacking him with a shield.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, he's actually armed with 2 shields. That's all he carries.
Yeah, I made sure to get Warcaster so I could actually cast spells with shields.
And I'm allowing him to get the AC bonus twice, which technically is sketcy, but
yeah. So does a 24 hit?
It does.
All right.
Okay.
And that'll be 9 damage.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do? No?
No.
Okay. Mittens, what would you like to do? The scared kitten all the way at the back.
Hey, she's better than me. I'm hiding behind someone. So, I'm using someone as a human shield.
Don't pick on our clothies. They're squishy.
Finally, a mage that knows where they're supposed to be.
I thought for a second you were going to say finally a mage that knows their place.
I might have thought it, but I would never even admit to that.
Oh, man.
And I shall...
Yeah, you probably want to skip the fireball bit.
Yes, thinking about it.
I mean, that's a 40-foot sphere. I mean, it's not just a circle of explosion. It goes up and down, too. So, Thrick and Norite and possibly Rytheria would take a whole lot of shit. So, maybe not.
I'm going to firebolt it.
Okay.
I wouldn't take that much.
Do you not have Scorching Rank? Because that's a great spell.
I have shield.
No. Yes, those are exactly the same. There's so much.
They start with S. Good enough. Does a 15 hit it?
It does.
Oh. Surprise. That was the
Bless you.
While they're thinking, I've wondered, is this thing on the ground or on the ceiling?
So right now it's on the ground.
Okay.
A whopping 9 damage.
Okay.
In
Well,
my
hey.
mind, it was flipped.
Yeah, no, it's like on the ceiling, kind of wrapped around a stalagmite. Stalagmites are on the ground, right? Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Mittens?
That's it.
Okay. So, because it's a boss, it gets 3 actions. The first action it does is it starts its moaning again. Everybody needs to make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Easy. I'm a
Aaron
cleric.
made it.
I got 19.
So, is this a magical effect?
No. No.
It's just very loud. Okay.
So Norte, you got a 19?
Yes.
Thrick, what'd you get?
27.
Yeah, like you had to worry about it to begin. Telfar, what'd you get? DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear us?
I got an 18 on my roll.
Okay, you saved. Norte saved. Mittens, what'd you get?
18.
Okay. Aaron.
17.
Okay.
There it is.
And Rytheria.
18.
Okay, you guys all saved. So basically what this moan effect is that it is a fear effect. It is not magical, though. And then...
Will not be so easily shaken.
Let's see. Yeah, it could do that. It flies up 21 feet, and then it flies over the wall of fire, and it flies over here, and it attacks. It is going to rolling to make the decision. Oh, it's a 6. It is going to attack Norite's Witch Bolt throwing minion.
So it decided to just eat the firewall damage?
No,
It flew over.
the firewall's 20 feet tall. It flew up 21 feet and then flew over to the tower. So its tail attack. $25 to hit. Norte? I'm assuming 25 hits your retainer.
Yes, it does. Aren't you?
For 11 points of slashing damage.
That kills him.
It kills him? Wow.
Wait,
How? Even as a wizard?
no, never mind. It doesn't kill him.
I
Okay.
think he's level 3 at this point as well.
Well, and then
He's level 4.
and then it tries to bite him, but it misses with an 8.
Okay, that's good.
And it's just sitting there flapping its wings while it messes around with Norite 15 feet up where it's It's not really. It's like clinging to the side of this tower. Aaron, what would you like to do?
Okay, let's unmute and let me see if I can find myself there. See, this is I'm going on an
Yeah, you're buried in a group here.
Yeah.
Make a little bit. There you go.
I found myself.
It was a mission of self-discovery.
So, I see it fly up over the wall, and I lose sight of it. So I hustle, step out to where I can spot it again, and I see it clinging to the wall.
Oh,
and taking
wait.
a knee and
Time out.
what?
Before we go any further, Rytheria, roll 2d4 damage, and it needs to take 2d4 from the acid.
Right. There's this arrow
another
sticking
8.
out of it.
Okay.
Ooh, nice, max.
2 4s, likely.
All right. And I'm still have my longbow equipped, so I will shoot it with my 16. Don't know if that hits.
That gets it.
Okay. And that pokes it for 6. And since I understand its weak points, it takes an additional 6.
Ouch. Okay.
And I will use... Let's see, there is a little bit of cover in here. So I'll slide back over here with my... And use my bonus action to attempt a hide. What the heck?
Go ahead. Make your stealth
24.
check. 24. All right. You are stealthed. Okay. Norite, you are up here, and this thing is gripping the sides of the of this battlement, and it just lashed out at your sidekick. What are you going to do?
I am going to... It's right up next to me, right?
Oh, yeah. It is within
I'm
melee
going
range.
to chop at it. No, wait. I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay. Go ahead and make your touch attack.
So that is 18 to hit.
That hits.
Good. Okay, this is going to be a ton of damage. It's not going to feel good. Here's my last D10. Nice. Let's... 18, 21. $45 damage.
Yikes. So, Norite reaches out and touches someone, and this, you see this cloaker go from being a shiny black color to a pale gray, and its skin squeezes in on the skeleton, and it just drops and flops to the floor.
You can't kill my retainer yet.
It's coming. Yeah. So for Rain, the going joke is there was another player in our table game of Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and he kept going. There's a sticker machine, and when you play in our games, you get actual gold pieces, like physical gold doubloons, and you can spend those in the store. And he would go over and he would spend them on the sticker machine. And so he came back with this stack of retainer cards. And for an additional 2 gold doubloons, you can upgrade that to level 1 sidekick. And so he kept doing that. The problem is that they were already, past like level 5 when he started doing this. And so he would be like level 5 or 6 and have like a level 1 sidekick. And then he would Yes, and so then he would order them into battle, and so I killed like 3 of his sidekicks at this point. Something like it was like it's become like this running joke, like, oh, I'm gonna pull out another sidekick. It's like, okay, well, what's gonna happen? Oh, he's gonna die. Does it? I kept. Carl always sat to my left. I'd be like, oh, you want to take bets on how fast this one's gonna die?
The last one died like he didn't get one action.
It's like the first round of combat, your sidekick is dead.
Don't worry, we have one of them as a skeleton.
Yeah, yes. So the second one, Thrick decided to raise his corpse as a skeleton, and so one of the skeletons is actually named Dix 2, and Dix 2 has been raised like 4 times. Yes, Dix the sequel. So in here, you find you don't find any treasure in here, unfortunately. But over here,
Burn it all again.
Man, why are we even here if we don't find treasure?
I know, right?
Right?
You know, I disagree with this. I think there should be treasure in here. So, in here, you find a pile of 49 electrum pieces. Now, electrum pieces are one electrum piece is worth 5 gold pieces. And on you find you find under the pile of electrum pieces, you find a mace.
Split up the electrum pieces equally.
If that's what you guys want to do, go for it.
5 each. Is that how many people have? 5? 5 people?
Let's see here. There are 6 of you. Make it 6 each.
All right, I got that.
Okay. So there's this mace. You know that the mace is magical in some way because it is giving off a glow that sheds bright light in 10 feet and dim light for an additional 10 feet.
Who wants it?
Well, if nobody wants it, I could give it to a skeleton.
I don't think that would really work. This sounds like a mace of disruption, possibly.
Mm-mm.
No.
We'll find out.
That's one of them that emits the light.
So
could be a mace of minor light emitting.
could be. So I can tell you this. Whoever found it, you kind of examine it, and you can determine that this is a rare weapon that would require attunement. Does anybody have identify?
No,
I believe I
So, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. Identify is an important spell.
We can do it if we take it back because Will, my follower, has it. But
Oh, that's right. He's not with us.
You
no,
know,
I'm not taking him down here to die.
I would go so far as to say that Norate's sidekick can probably cast Identify. I would think. I mean...
Yeah, I think he can too.
Because, I mean, aside from casting Witch Bolt and dying, what else is he good for?
Yeah.
You know what? Jeff told me this exact situation of why I should get Identify, and I was like, you know,
Identify
that's
is
not
an
gonna
important
I
spell,
might
and
play.
everybody always overlooks it.
wrong.
Yeah, no, he actually has it as a spell. So, yeah.
Alright. So, I assume he's going to cast it?
Yes, he is.
So, this is a Mace of Terror.
Nice.
Has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action and expend 1 charge to release a wave of terror. Each creature of your choice in a 30-foot radius extending from you must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute. While it is frightened in this way, a creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it cannot willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action, or it can try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If it has nowhere it can move, the creature can use the dodge action. At the end of each of its turns, a creature can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself on a success. The mace regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. So this is a beefy axe.
So if
excuse me, a beefy
anyone,
mace.
Yeah, if anyone needs this mace, then we'll outfit it. If not, it can go in the bag of holding for sale, and we'll split the loot after we get rid of it.
I mean, I know this doesn't fit with Thrick's character concept of dual shield wielding, but this mace is almost perfectly designed. And I randomly rolled this. I'm not making that up. It is almost perfectly designed for you. Just saying.
So, would my skeletons be able to attune to it?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm good without it. I have 2 magical shields already.
Okay. I'm just... If that's what you want to do.
He doesn't need to worry about people running away if they can't have him in the first place.
So out of here... yeah, that's true. Out of here... This is a wall of crystal that looks like... it looks like a waterfall came down and was just frozen into crystal.
As a dwarf, can I identify what kind of crystal?
It's like a quartz.
Oh. No diamonds or whatever?
No.
No
Over
jewels,
here is a similar crystal fall, but there are holes in it, and you can come through, and you find that there is an exit, a hidden exit, out of here that is covered by foliage and vegetation.
Say we bust through this crystal wall.
Okay.
Like, just break it.
Yeah.
You could, I can tell
there.
you, that this, so this passage technically doesn't really go much of anywhere. This is, I can show you exactly where this goes, and it says, tunnel leads to expanded dungeon, which I don't have any expanded dungeon. If I were to create a map, that is where this would go, or possibly lead to the Underdark. More likely, this would lead to the Underdark. Either way, I have I will be honest and tell you, I have nothing prepared for that.
Let's leave out the secret foliage way.
The one way he has a map for.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
go that way.
keep the game going.
Basically, one of the ways is just invisible ball.
Now, we don't have our rafts at this moment, right? So
No, they're on the riverbank.
perhaps we want to backtrack and go a different way.
So, and then here's another question before you decide to leave here. Do you need to take a short rest or a long rest? Who needs spell slots?
I used one, so
Okay, so you're good.
Telfar took 17 points of damage, and
Might need some healing.
yeah, that's half my hit points. So.
agreed.
Seriously, half?
Yeah,
Well, she's got like a
yeah,
-2 to her constitution.
I have 32 hit points.
Yeah.
I keep taking 5 from my constitute or my hit dice every level because I keep rolling less than 5, and I have -1 to my.
She specifically asked me when she made that character, she said, you know, if I would be okay with that. And I said, I'm okay with characters having flaws. I think that if you have she actually has like 2 that are negatives. Usually I'm okay with like 1 attribute having a negative, but she has 2, and one of them being her constitution. I gave her the option to go ahead and re-roll that, and she opted to not. So she's been role-playing the character quite well.
RP thing. He's small. He's not beefy. He's hardly anything.
So
he has a weight.
you guys go ahead and heal her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use Cure Wounds at 2nd level on Telfar.
Sweet.
Oh. And my mistake, I got confused. This is forested area, not water.
Yeah, you heal for 14 health.
I'll take it.
I rolled barely above minimum.
Did we take a short rest? Question mark.
We haven't, but we probably could.
Sure, we do that.
Okay.
You can roll some dice to regain any hit points that you're low on, Telfar.
All right, so did we heal up Telfar?
Good enough. We put some band-aids on her biggest boobies, and we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I just healed 14 health.
my Jeff plays in our Prince of the Apocalypse campaign, and he I forget why somebody had taken like a lot of fire damage. Like 3/4 of their body was burned. They had like 2 hit points left. Does Jeff or anybody cast any healing? No, because Jeff's a monk, so he's like, I'll use my healing kit. Go ahead and make a medicine check. I get like a 5. Okay, here's a band-aid for all of your burns. Okay, see ya. Gertrude walks away. Well, I did what I could do. You're done.
Walk it off.
Just walk it off. You'll be fine.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yep. Well, that's another story about Jeff as well. We actually did have that happen. He drunkenly stumbling around up in Shasta Lake, and Jeff, in the darkness, stubs his toe on what I can only imagine must have been a chunk of obsidian, and slices his toe clean open, like almost to the bone. I'm pretty strong as far as being able to see stuff like that, and I couldn't look at it. That's how bad it was. He wraps it. He wraps it with duct tape and
Wait,
his
in real
sock.
life?
Yes, this really happened. He was wearing his sandals and he bled all the way back to the campsite, and his foot is covered in dirt. And he's like, "Don't worry, the dirt will protect it. That'll keep the bacteria out." He wraps it. He tears a chunk off of his sock, wraps it in his sock, and then wraps his toe with duct tape and left it. And somehow still has a toe. So yeah. Don't worry, the dirt will help. Evidently that's a thing. Jeff proved it. That and a lot of tequila. So what do you guys want to do from here?
Let's go through the forest to the south and check out that thing.
So
I'm always a fan of checking out things.
Yes. So you look out. So Aaron, you poke your head out. You and Rytheria poke your head out, and you see a tower, which is right here. And this tower why is that not doing the thing that I want it to do? Oh, it did do the thing. I just can't see it. Close enough. This tower is covered in giant bats. They're just clinging. They're just clinging to the side of this tower, and this tower is carved to look like a squat stone tree with twisted stony boughs protruding from the walls. There are 13 giant bats hanging from the crumbling limbs like ornaments, their wings wrapped tightly around their bodies. And it connects to here, which is similar to the wall and battlements that you saw earlier, but the wall seems to be broken in spots here. And then it reconnects and is normal, going back over to the guardhouse and the barracks.
Well, let's fireball them, get their attention, and draw them into this narrow opening.
So the bats are not hostile. They're just hanging from the limbs all over this tower.
Screw that noise. They're all hostile.
Is it because they're bats?
What if not?
So, with my cape of bat wings and a deception check and a mask of disguise, could I possibly pass for a giant bat?
Ooh. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Change of mic really added some kind of cinematic
I know, right?
Background for you.
like she's literally yelling down at you from the from flying over it.
So that is a 25 on my deception.
Wow. Ooh. So I don't know. Let's see here. I honestly didn't expect you guys to fuck with the giant bats, but okay. Whatever.
They're probably animal intelligence, which is
Expect the unexpected always.
So yeah, Telfer, you essentially deceive these bats into thinking that you are one of them flying around. You're like, hello, fellow bat people. How are you doing today?
Yeah, that's what I want to do. For sure.
We have one with the bats.
So in your flying, as you are flying about, you can see there is a tree that is literally walking around. It's not a tree ant. It's literally a tree. Yeah, it looks like a mushroom. It's because I didn't have any trees. But yeah, this is a pine tree that is literally walking around, awakened. And And it
Can I
doesn't
talk to
appear
the
to be
puppy?
hostile either. I don't believe that an awakened creature can speak.
Just wave at it. Hello.
We go inside the tower, or are the bats guarding it?
So, Telfer, you notice that. Well, there's a couple of things. So, you notice the tree walking around, and then you notice something very peculiar.
The tree that walks around is not peculiar, but
Well,
this
this
is peculiar.
Well, I mean, considering all the stuff you've seen since coming down, I mean, you're 5 levels underground, and there's sunlight and a day-night cycle and a forest in this cavern. So that, on top of everything else, this is a little peculiar. But you see that in this area, these alcoves, each one appears to be an ossuary of some kind. There are piles and piles and piles of bones and skulls stacked against the wall. And then on the south side of this tower, you see a pair of double doors.
Walk around the outside of the tower and try to get in the double doors.
Okay, so you want to move around to the south and head towards the doors?
I mean, I do, but I'd rather it go first.
Does anybody else want to do that? What does the rest of you want to do?
Well, Aaron definitely wants to go around that way. He wants to find the loot.
Okay.
And his opinion is if there's caves that are just loaded with bones, those bats and those trees aren't as friendly as you might think.
So, yeah, what does Mittens and Thrick want to do here? And Norite?
Yeah, I'm gonna head out with them to see what's going on over there.
Okay. And Mittens.
I'm chilling.
You're gonna stay back, or?
Is this
Oh, I see what you're doing.
all like forest area?
So yeah, this is these cleared areas are lightly forested. These are like rock outcroppings, but this is a forested area. But it's not like a dense forest. But when you look up, you're looking through a tree canopy, and you can see, an afternoon sky overhead, blue sky, a few clouds, not many, sun being down. You can feel the warmth.
What's the nature of the destruction to the wall?
It looks like it has just crumbled over time. It doesn't look like that it has been necessarily assaulted. What it looks like is that it has just crumbled over the ages.
Time to investigate one of those ossuaries.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 deep alcoves, each roughly 10 feet wide and 15 feet tall, line the cavern wall south of the tower. Strewn about in them are the skeletal remains of 60 humans clad in rotting clothes and furs.
Ew.
Yeah, so make a medicine check.
Nice. 22.
Wow. There's a big brain on Aaron. So Aaron goes over and pulls out a stethoscope and his doctor's bag and says, "Hey, these guys are dead." You can't tell. You cannot tell what killed them, but you can tell that in their state of decomposition. Now they are skeletons. They're skeletal remains. They're almost more like mummies, like they've been dried out. So there is tight, leathery skin over the skeletons. and they are covered in these rotting clothes and furs, and you can determine from your medicine check that these people have only been dead for maybe 100 years, which, compared to what you're seeing for the crumbling wall, isn't that long.
Weird. Are these are humanoids, but is there any sort of
They're humans.
racial? They're humans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys sneaking around or what?
Nobody. I mean, Aaron kind of.
I'm keeping quiet, but not doing too good of a job.
I mean,
stepping on all those bones.
Yeah, he's the only one that's really stealthed would be. Well, actually, she's not even really stealth because Telfar decided to blend with the bats. So no, nobody's stealth. They're just moving about. And this awakened tree is not seeming to really hinder you in any way. There's another awakened tree that Mittens finds down here, and you see an awakened elk moving about the forest. And you can tell that they're awakened creatures in that they don't act like they have an animal intelligence. They act like they have a humanoid intelligence. They're clearly watching you and they're aware of you, but they are not skittish or afraid of you in any way, and they're not simply following you because they think you have food. They are paying attention to you because you can see a glint of sentience in their eyes. And yes, the trees have eyes. Not like, eyeballs like you would see on some stupid ornament that you get from Craft Warehouse. But you can tell that they have eyes and a mouth.
Being wary of these awakened plants and animals, I'll go and examine and listen and look at this door.
Okay.
So, back door, examining it with.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm also by the door, examining it.
Okay.
I want to move towards where my party members are as well. So.
Okay, so you're going to move over towards the door as well? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the awakened because I'm curious.
Okay. Okay, yeah. You can tell that. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, both you and Mittens.
Okay.
Druid.
9.
Wow.
6.
Go ahead. We're gonna
much
say
about-
we're gonna say, since you brought it up, we're gonna say that Mittens is helping you, and so you can go ahead and make that with advantage. Let's see if you do any better.
No, I can't. I got a 5 the second time.
Wow. You are aware that these awakened creatures have clearly been magically awakened, but you're not sure as to what school. They don't appear. I mean, from your perspective, being a cleric that likes to raise the dead, and let's just call you what you are. You're pretty much a necromancer. You're looking at it from that viewpoint, and you're like, well, these trees were never dead, so I don't understand how it is that they're up and walking around. This doesn't make any sense to me. Rytheria and Aaron and Norte, you examine these double doors. This tower is carved to look, it's like white alabaster stone, and it's been carved to look like a squat stone tree. And at the base, is a 12-foot high arched double doorway made of carved stone. There's a rope hanging next to the door that goes all the way up, and when you look up, you can see that there is a bell outside of a window.
You should not ring the bell.
Sounds like a good idea. Should we go?
Yeah, let's go ring the bell.
No, don't ring the bell.
Oh,
Don't
what?
ring the
No.
bell. Don't, because it'll make all the bats angry at us. Because they're just trying to sleep. They're having nappy time.
Can we go in the building without ringing the bell?
Do you want to try to open the doors?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Nobody else is.
I mean, if there's multiple, I'll try to open one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Rytheria, you reach over and you open the door, and it leads into a large entry area, and there are on either side there are two staircases that lead. Well, let me see. Yeah, so on either side of this are two staircases that lead up to the second floor, and in this area here, you see that there is a short tree that is basically like a leafy a leafy hazelnut tree, and it's short. It's like maybe 7 feet tall, and it turns as soon as you push the door open, and it appears that it has a bow tie made out of oak leaves around its neck. Oh, and it looks at you and says, "Yes? What are you doing here? Why didn't you ring the bell?"
We didn't want to wake up the bats.
Oh, yes.
Pardon our intrusion. We didn't realize this was occupied.
Yes, the bats. I forgot about the bats. They can be surly if they're woken up. Well, don't stand outside. Please, come inside.
We get to talk to a tree.
I'm gonna go inside as well.
Okay. What about Thrick and Mittens?
I'm gonna stand outside the door they're in just to watch our backs.
Okay. And Mittens?
2 bodyguards, apparently.
Okay.
Nothing can sneak up on me if I'm in a hidey hole.
Well, welcome to Wyllow's Tower. Who might you be?
I am Aaron, an adventurer seeking fame down here in Waterdeep and doing deeds as I find their need.
Oh, well...
I'm right.
Whoa! Say deeds, but do not specify good or bad.
Exactly. Smart of you to notice.
And who might this be, you good dwarf?
I am Morote Tolwintir.
Tolwintir, you say?
Yes.
Any relation to the Tolwintir clan that came through?
Yes. Yes, because I mean that's gonna kind of be exciting.
So, how do you respond to that?
I'm kind of baffled. Like, Yes, please tell me everything.
Well, there was an exploratory group led by a Talontier. He stayed here in Willowwood for a while. The mistress knows him well. I do hope he's still in good spirits. He left here some time ago and went deeper into Undermountain.
Did he specify where he was going?
Only that he was looking for something to do with an ancient dwarven clan, and that he had discovered something to do with them having a citadel on the previous level up above. None of that really filters down to us, although we are aware that there was some dwarven situation going on down here, and it seems that they left most of this area alone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the information.
And who might the young lady be?
I'm Rytheria. I'm a wizard. I went to the School of Evocation, and I'm just exploring now with these new powers that I've learned.
She's a Kobold Rights Ambassador.
Man,
I started the Kobold Rights activist group.
That just sounds like an entire Twitter thread that's just waiting to start. Kobold rights activist. Wow. Well, greetings, and welcome to Willow's Tower, and welcome to Willowwood. And as he says that, coming down the stairs, you see a young elven woman wearing dark leather armor and a green cloak. And she comes down the stairs and she says, "Oh, Halistry, do we have guests? Why didn't they ring the bell? I know, that's what I said. But yes, we have some adventurers from up above." And she says, "Welcome to my tower. My name is Wyllow." And she says, "Please come join me in the throne room." And she motions to move upstairs.
Follow her up the stairs.
Alright. Outside, Telfar. Is Telfar still with us?
I'll go check.
She's got a thumbs up. Outside, Telfar is flying around, and you come to the top of this tower. And at the top of the tower, you see that the tower, this tree-like tower, comes up, and you see what appears to be, it's not a battlement, but the tower itself seems to be carved into what can only be described as a tree house. And there is a door at the top of this tower that you can go inside this treehouse, and there's a small circular staircase that comes out to a small landing area where there is a small bird pond, like a little bird bath sitting there, and a little stone bench where people could sit in this clearing.
I think Telfar should sit.
Okay.
It looks like a nice place to sit. If it's meant for sitting, he should sit.
So yeah, you sit, and in a short amount of time, you notice that there's a number of small birds of various species that come and they flit around in the bird bath. And you also notice that there's a small feeder that is full of seeds, and they get their seeds. And you notice a plethora of life. And it takes you a moment to actually remember that you are 5 levels underground in Undermountain. This, for all intents and purposes, looks and acts like it is a forest on the surface world.
This is an absolutely lovely spot you have here, Willow.
I would like to inquire about the tree outside. Are they friendly to you? Are they yours?
So yeah, she leads you into this throne room, and there is a huge throne that looks like it was carved out of a living tree, just sitting there. And she sits down. She says,
Brutal.
"Well, thank you. I created Willow Wood to well." Willowwood was created for me to be what I wanted it to be. At first, and she says, to answer your question about the trees, I didn't necessarily create them. They were created for me. At first, I didn't want to be here. And at first, Willowwood did not look like it does today. I was trapped here by Hallister Blackcloak. For lack of a better term, Hallister had a rather toxic crush upon me and didn't wish for me to leave. And when I professed my depression when he would visit me, he came to the realization that I was lonely being trapped underground in a cavern. And so the first thing that he did was he created this, complete with an illusory sky overhead that has a day-night cycle, and the trees and the life here. Most of that was my doing, but Hallister enhanced it. And so there are awakened trees, there are bats, there are animals from the surface world, and all is pleasant here. And I ensure myself and my awakened animals ensure that the region is not damaged in any way. She says, I have some rules. You're welcome to be in Willowwood, but I have some rules. Do not harm the forest. If you are out and you need to make camp for the night, you are welcome to pick up any dead logs, sticks, even a fallen tree. You're welcome to have that for firewood. But do not chop down any trees in my wood. That surely carries a death sentence. To continue her story, she says, Hallister attempted to make me more comfortable here in the wood, because while I had the wood and I had the forest creatures, I was still alone. And so he brought a group of adventurers here. And one of those adventurers, my late husband, was named Croissant. And when she says the name Croissant, out from behind the throne, slowly steps and stretches the front paws out, and stepping out from behind the throne is a displacer beast. Then it lets out a big yawn and sits by her side, and she reaches over and strokes its head. And she says, yes, Croissant. She says, no, yes, I named my displacer beast after Croissant, my late husband, but my late husband, he couldn't deal with living here, and and over time, it drove him mad, and I must say it probably drove me mad, and we got into a fight, and I was forced to kill him. And so I buried him north of here. And there is a shallow grave or not a shallow grave, but there is a sole lonely grave with a single headstone in the field to the north, where my husband remains.
Yes, we encountered the corpse of an adventurer and messages that he had written, saying that he had found your husband's grave and that a will-o'-the-wisp there followed and attacked him from that area. Have you had any problems? Heard of any such risks to your domain?
The will-o'-wisp is actually the soul of my dead husband. He, his anger at being trapped here and his despair followed him into death and caused him to reanimate as a will-o'-wisp. Beware if you go to the north. He will try to trick you.
That is such a tragedy to be constantly reminded of that chapter in your life.
And she, when you say that, you see that she starts to tear up, and she kind of puts her head down. She says, I miss him greatly. You see that her awakened tree butler, Halistry, moves further up the stairs. And Telfar, you see the door to the treehouse open, and this 7-foot tall hazelnut tree comes stepping out and says, "Oh, you must be one of the adventurers. How'd you get up here?" All right. Well, meanwhile, back in the throne room. So yeah, she kind of cries for a moment, and she pulls herself together, and she says, "What is it that you seek in Willowwood?"
Okay.
Hello.
Truthfully, we are exploring. We have come from Waterdeep, and this area under the city has been known for some time, but the first adventurers to return came back wealthy, and since then there has been a small trickle of adventurers going down to see if they could better their lives, and we are of the same ilk, seeking to make our lives and the lives of those that we care about better, and this is a nice area to explore.
To expand on that, are you happy here, my lady?
No, I've grown to enjoy Willowwood. I can't imagine leaving at this point. I've been here for some 250 years. It is my realm, and I have made it as such.
So have you reconciled with Hallister?
Reconciliation is a strong word. Hallister and I have an understanding.
We would like to meet him, and just for this, as the creator of this realm underneath the city, his name is very well known. It would be an honor to meet Hallister. I'm not mentioning our quest until I know any better.
She says, that is something that I might be able to arrange. But first, you've been down here some time, and you appear weary. Let's have a feast. And she claps her hands, and you see coming down the stairs, you see a bunch of small little myconid, they're small mushroom people. And they come walking down the stairs, and she says, please, go prepare us a feast. My guests are tired, and prepare rooms for them. They'll need to stay for the night. And she says, please make yourselves at home. My tower is your home.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
Do you know anyone with the clan name of Tallwinter?
Yes. The Tallwinter came through here, and she looks at you and she says, Are you his son? I can see it in the eyes. Yes, Tallwinter came through here with an expedition, and they went deeper into Undermountain, seeking information about the dwarven clan that lived here previously. I don't know much about them myself. He was quite the gentleman.
Yes.
And she then leads you upstairs, and you see these. There's a grand, this long, 12-foot long dining table that looks like it has just been carved out of a living tree. And the legs of the table just naturally grow into benches along the side, and there is a throne-like high-backed chair at one end. And she sits down at the end, and all of the goblets and all of the plates are made out of carved wood. However, there are silverware and large wooden pitchers of wine, and there's a banquet of food laid out before you. A roasted elk, and many bowls of different types of vegetables, lettuce, and nuts, and berries, all along the table. And she says, please sit. And you all sit down to eat your feast. And that's where we're going to break.
Tries to eat, but he can't. There's way too much on his mind.
Okay. That's where we're going to break for the week.
Okay.
And we will all pick up here again next Friday night at 6:30 p.m. And hopefully Telfar will have no more Discord problems. Sorry, Telfar.
Now, just to be straight, we will not meet next Friday.
Oh, you are correct. We will not meet next Friday. My apologies. I am taking Memorial Day weekend off. So, no game next Friday. My bad, you are correct. Thank you, Aaron, or Carl, for bringing that up. I am finally going to take a break and take a 3-day weekend. So,
we'll have tons of fun.
Well, yeah, I think I probably will. I mean, we're going to get out and actually drive to Hermiston. So, we're going to stealthily break quarantine and go see family. Because it has to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that we will be taking next weekend off. So 2 weeks from tonight, we will be back at 6:30 p.m. And I will see everybody then. And Telfar, I'm going to move you into the dining hall. And I will explain that next when we get together.
Hey,
Chris, bye.
Much.
Thank you. Everybody be safe and enjoy.
Yes, you are welcome, and thank you for playing. I hope to see you again, Rain.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Soon.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Nice meeting you guys.